Hey there, it's Kuzo here, and welcome to this victory breakdown. I'm going to walk you through a recent match and explain my thought process so you can pick up tips and tricks to incorporate into your gameplay. And if you like this type of content, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's go. Alright, I'm landing at Dusty Docks here, and I'm paying attention to my visual sound effects so I can see that there's at least one person gliding in near me. I am landing a little shorter than I want to be landing, so I see a shockwave on this roof, I grab it, and I just decide to toss that down and make my way over to this blue chest that I see. I pickaxe the pallets because sometimes it's faster than opening the chest, and I get a charged shotgun, which I don't really like, but you know what, for now, it's going to have to do. As I'm looting here, I'm looking around, I'm trying to, my priority here upon landing is to get my shield up all the way and to get some weapons, ideally close range weapons. I'm feeling pretty good so far because I have an AR, I have a shotgun, I have 2 mobilities, and I have my shield halfway there. So I'm on the right track, and right now I'm just looting as many chests as possible. And so now I find this 50 pot. And I will be at full health after this, and really I'm pretty ready to take fights at this point, but I will also just try to hear what's going on around me. Like I heard some shooting, it stopped, I heard a reboot in the sky, so I know there's people around, and as you can see there's footsteps above me, so I'm really trying to understand the situation before I dive in. And often I like to get up on rooftops so I can see what's going on. Start engaging with this person. Looks like they're running, but then they hop onto this rooftop, and I can tell they're going to be a little more aggressive as they shockwave over to me. So I bust out my shotgun, and we take this fight close range. Luckily, I can get a hit off. I don't really like the pump or the charged shotgun. Personally, I have a hard time hitting shots with it while it's charged, and also if you charge it up before you're in a fight, if you're sneaking around, people can hear it making its hissing sound, but right there was the only shotgun I had, so it did the job. So I'm continuing to loot because now that my health is low, once again my priority is to get my health up. I can see that person I just fought, they landed back in the area. Some people, if you eliminate them, especially if they're an aggressive player, they might come right back at you. So, I'm kind of keeping a low profile right now while I heal up, and then I'm going to go check out what they're doing over there because there's still a lot of shooting. All right, so I'm checking out this situation. I see they're fighting. I whiff my shot. Once again, I don't like the charged shotgun. I couldn't shoot through the stairs, but they eliminated that person. It looks like they have some blinders on. I don't know what's going on, but I took them out pretty easily. And as you see, healing up. Now I hear someone returning to this area, so I'm not sure if they're going to come back a third time, but I also found another blue chest, so I'm going to loot that. So at this point, I'm trying to make sure I'm reloaded, my health's up, continuing to loot up. But now I hear someone landing. It might be that aggressive player again, so I decide to rotate. Just because sometimes when people have an axe to grind, they'll just keep coming at you, and I want to keep my good loot. All right. So now I'm just trying to check out where to go. There's a lot of shooting over here, which means it could be bots. But I do see someone land up on the bridge, a black cat skin. So, I decide to pepper him with some shots. But I don't really think I'll be able to take him out from there. There's too much interference and cover, so I just decide to move over here. Brutal Noodles is a bot. You can tell by the name. It's 2 words in capital and a number. That's very common for bots, but I do know Black Cat's real. But I have some footsteps below me, so I decided to rotate because I don't really need to take these fights right now. I just need to get out of the general vicinity. So I see some chests here. I decide to loot a little bit, but then this guy shows up. I am able to get some decent first shot off with that charged shotgun, and then we trade shots, and was able to eliminate them without too much trouble. and then I hear someone else gliding in, but they're kind of just gliding straight down. I realize it's a player that's probably just AFK, so I take them out. I don't like blowing my cover, but you know, if they return to their keyboard or to their controller, then you know, then they could. I want to make sure they're not ready to go there. So Black Cat just landed again. They're hiding behind that rock. They think I don't see them, but I decided to just take my time, heal, reload, do all this stuff. They kind of remind me of a real cat, where my cat actually does this, where they think I can't see them and I just like, you know, go and surprise them. So what I do is I throw this shield bubble so I can close the gap without getting shot. And then I just come in with my charged shotgun and just one pump them. And that was a little bit sad, but you know, the shield bubbles are good for that. Like if you're in the middle of a field, you can throw one down, you know, for cover, or sometimes if you're trying to close the gap on someone, and you know, you can kind of string them together so you can like run closer and closer. Yeah, so now I'm running along Little Loot Lake. I like Little Loot Lake's loot because often there's a lot of chests around the edge of it. So, you know, I found a purple mammoth, which is honestly like that's all I really need this match. I love the mammoth. You know, I'm a very, very good marksman, and I like in reload, I personally like to do stick and move. So like I will carry a lot of mobility. I'll also carry some ranged weapons and something close range. And then, you know, so then I can just kind of pick people off like I'm doing now. I'm just trying to see a fight in the distance. I'm trying to get some shots in, and, you know, and then if it gets spicy, I can always rotate. So I took that person out. But whenever you're making noise, someone always shows up. So then that's where the shotgun comes in handy. And I hit the first two shots, and then I think they get scared and try to get out. But luckily I hit that shot. I don't really know how I hit it, but I got it. So I was feeling good. Now, sometimes when you have these kind of random shots happening, you realize it's probably a bot. You know, they're kind of barely hitting me. If it was a real player, they probably would have taken down my health a lot. So I take out the bot. I think we're clear over here. And then once again, like that person's really far away. If they're carrying an AR, you know, they're not really going to be able to hit me much. And so like the mammoth is really great weapon for just like picking on people too, because you can just kind of harass them from a long distance. And, you know, if they don't have a marksman weapon, then they're going to have a hard time countering you. All right, so I'm still looking for loot. I think it's this part of the game where, you know, I continue to scrounge around. You know, the charged shotgun isn't one that I really like, so if I could find another one, a different shotgun, I'd be happy. But I am pretty happy with having the mammoth. I got some good shield, I got some mobility, you know, so I got both my close range and far range covered, and my mobility and my health, so eating good right now. All right, so I decided to rotate, and you can see before where I marked that item. Sometimes I use the ping function to hover over an item and mark it. And that's if I can't see clearly what it is from the distance, it will show you the item, you know, on the screen. So I do that sometimes so I can like decide, should I really jog all the way over there? Sometimes it's a laziness thing. Other times it's a risk analysis thing. Like if it was a great weapon, you know, do I really want to get in there? So right now I'm even doing that here where I'm looking at this grappler. And I'm like, well, I don't really want the grappler, but there might be other stuff over here. I see a lot of loot actually. And, you know, when you see a lot of loot like that, it's either, hey, this is great. This is some fair game. I'm going to pick stuff up. Or there's someone healing who's going to pop out who just defeated all these people who's cracked. So you have to be careful. That's why I'm taking my time running into this because, you know, glowing piles of gold loot is a good way to lure people into a bad situation too. Though I don't really want any of these. Like I like the hammer AR better than either of those ARs, even if they're gold. I'm a little tempted to pick up gold. I almost like sometimes you get, you know, gold blindness. But luckily I found this Havoc, which is a decent AR, and having it in gold is nice to have in the loadout. All right, so now I'm looking around. I tend to work my way towards like high ground because high ground is a great opportunity just to see what's around you. especially as a marksman, so I can kind of perch up here, get a view out across the map and see if I can take some shots. And here I see someone fighting at that cabin, and I nicked them for 77. I'm trying to stay high up here, but I'm getting pushed out by the storm. So I'm continuing to harass these people. I think there's 2 fighting there, or maybe a fight just ended, but I cracked that person. And now at this point, this is where I actually make a big mistake. So I'm fighting this person, I hit him for 80, so I'm kind of confident, and I get a little excited, so I actually run into this fight. But as you can see, I'm running into a minigun, which is a really bad idea, but I luckily take that person out, and I find a gold mammoth, so I'm excited about it. So, running into the minigun is pretty dangerous. Like, honestly, like if someone has a minigun, they spin kind of slowly, so the best thing to do is try to get past them and behind them. I feel like my shots were a little bit lucky there. That just as easily with a split second could have gone to them, and then I would have that would have been game over actually, because reboots are over. So now I find a bunker, and I'm on the edge of the circle, so I throw a bunker down. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay here, but I'm just sort of doing what I call perching. So perching is when I kind of get to a higher spot. The only higher spot right now really is the house right there. There could be someone in the house, and I have to go across the moat pretty much or the lake to get over there. So I'm happy here on the dock on the edge of circle. And when I perch, the things I do is I'm looking around as much as I can. So like if I was on the top of a hill in the middle of the circle, I'd have to look around 360 degrees. But right here, my back is to the circle. I know no one's behind me. So I'm really kind of looking maybe 180 to 270 degrees. You have the house, you have the cabin on the right, and then off to the left, there's the woods and that kind of stuff. So we see that there's 3 other players besides myself left. And right now, while I perch, I'm trying to determine, where are they? Is there someone in that cabin? Are they going to pop out when the storm pushes them out? Are they somewhere else? I feel pretty safe right now. There's no reason for me to do anything, honestly. I have a great position, and I think sometimes people blow it by getting bored and then just feeling like they need to push a fight. But this is a really great position, so I don't want to give it up unless I have to. So I know there's some shooting over there, which tells me, hey, there's probably 2 people over in that direction. I'm looking around, and I think I saw someone over by that cabin before, maybe through the window. So I'm keeping an eye on the cabin. Once again, they're shooting there. Okay, now we're down to 3 players. So we know there's someone by the cabin, and then maybe someone over to the left. So I try to keep my head below the bunker level too, because I can still look around without peeking my head out and getting shot myself. So I see they're shooting over at someone. So I third party that, and that kind of tells me, okay, someone is over to the left that they were looking at, and now I'm going to try to pop off some shots at them. I assume they're probably going to go to this roof, but I guess I realized the roof is going to get pushed out of circle soon, so they're really trying to rotate back to circle, and kind of desperately. So sometimes when people are swimming and doing that kind of stuff, it's a great opportunity to pop some shots off. So they're both in that bunker now. And I'm expecting the shooting to start, but I think what happens is one goes below the bunker, one goes in the bunker, and then they both pop out and they start fighting, which is a great opportunity for me to third party. So I just take that one guy out with my gold havoc, and then just pepper the other guy. And then that's that. GG's. Like the last couple minutes, I really just sat in that spot and chilled, and it worked out. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe and drop a like.